All right. Hello, everybody. And we are live now. Welcome back to the False Prophet channel. This is our second episode of Reconsider This TV Live. That's right. Reconsider This TV Live. I'm here with Brother Jacob. I'm Danny Davis. In this episode, we are going to address the lies and hypocrisy of the self-proclaimed Imam Kenny Bomer. How you doing tonight, Brother Jacob?
I'm doing blessed, brother. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for asking.
That's
God
good.
bless.
That's good.
All right.
Shalom.
God bless everybody in the chat, anybody that'll watch this stream. So again, tonight we're going to go over an episode that Kenny had. He had myself and Brother Jacob on, and he was questioning us about a video that we had done together, our first video together on Reconsider This TV, playing through the False Prophet channel, where he accused us, or sorry, he questioned us on why we call him a liar and why we consider him a liar. Of course, when we go on his panel, his Question Kenny for an hour, we're given about 60 seconds to speak. Okay. After we ask our question, we are definitely not allowed a rebuttal or response to his question or to his answer. Okay. So he leaves us no choice but to respond with a respond video. So, Brother Jacob, if you wanted to go pull up the video where I believe it's episode 13 of Question Kenny for an hour.
Yes, sir.
And we'll just jump right into this.
All right. Tell me if you see it on you. Okay, let's get right into it. It's
Okay,
up.
there
See
we
it, brother
go.
Danny?
There we go. Yep, I see it. Okay, so I believe the timestamp when I joined the panel is about 54 minutes in, which is kind of ironic. You know, you question Kenny for an hour and you have to spend about, the first 45, 50 minutes of the show is just Kenny talking. The man loves to talk.
Say that again. You ready for me to start? 5404?
Yeah, go ahead and start that. Let's hear what he's got to say. Thanks for having me on, Imam Bomer.
Okay, so Danny, let me ask you a question. Go ahead. Now, why when I've allowed you the opportunity to come on, I've been decent to you, haven't given you a hard time, haven't insulted you, answered your questions, haven't answered your questions. So notice you just said I've been decent as well, which is inferring that I've been decent to you. Right. I think everyone who watches this particular segment that I've been decent to you. So the question is, Danny Davis, what would possess you to go and make a video a couple of days ago with Devin claiming that, the title of the video is something about the lying Imam Kenny Bomer, or whatever it was. Okay. What would possess you to do that? And then to say that you're going to establish a new show, Reconsider This TV. Okay. What would possess you to do such a thing, despite you acknowledging that I've been very decent to you and have allowed you on my show, have answered your questions?
Okay, you want to pause that right there?
Why would you do that?
Jacob? Okay, did you watch that whole video? First of all, that video was a few. Hey, Brother Jacob, you want to pause that right there? Okay, so again, it's called Question Kenny for an hour. I come onto the panel, and the first thing he does, he has questions for me. Okay, and it's not like he's going to give me time to answer these questions. So if we jump to, we don't actually have to jump to that part, but I believe it's at the 59:53 timestamp of the video where Kenny's going to give us his definition of a man, right? Like he always says, that the consistency of a man defines who he is. So let's go over the consistency of Kenny Bomer and who he is. If you want to go to
consistent, hold on. A man who's inconsistent, he's going to make a derogatory comment. Yeah, and in order to save face, he'll make a polite comment. Pause that there, Jay. Why would you make a polite comment about me?
Yeah, you could pause that there. We don't need to hear what he has to say there. Again, if you watch any of his streams, it's the consistency of a man defines who he is, so on and so forth. That's just cutting to the meat and potatoes of it. When Kenny talks, just that sentence I said right there takes him about 10, 15 minutes. He's got to justify every word that comes out of his mouth or justify it in his own mind. But if we go to 108:04, if you can go to that timestamp for me. Or as close to as possible. If you got to start a couple seconds sooner, that's fine.
And I've been decent with you and allowed you on my show. After I've already blocked you.
You gonna let me?
Now yeah. Well, I asked you the same question a second ago. You act like you didn't hear me.
You spoke for like 15 minutes, and then
because this is my show. That's what I do on the show.
Let me answer. Okay, on Wednesday, I brought up a hadith, and during me speaking about that hadith, I said he was taken to Wadaka, a blind man or a man that had lost his sight. The first thing that came out of your mouth, he wasn't blind. That's a lie.
I didn't say that.
You go to. Yeah, you did.
Yes,
and it's on your video. So go back and watch.
Hey, let me slow down, cowboy. You're bucking a little bit too much. Okay, you're bucking a little bit too much. Let me tell you something. Okay, so there was a Muslim brother that came on, and we spoke about this matter. Matter of fact, I think the brother was saying that he wasn't a Muslim. That maybe it was a different issue. But nevertheless, hey, listen, that doesn't. If someone made a mistake, if I made a mistake and said what you said, if I made a mistake.
Okay, pause right there. If you notice, I just said I talked about a hadith, and that's a hadith you and I need to go into further detail on. Perhaps we can do that in the next stream. But I told him I brought up this hadith, and in the hadith I mentioned that Wadaka is blind, right? Had lost his sight. Is that correct? We're still on the same page so far? Okay. Yep. So and then he states, well, I didn't say that. And we'll bring that video up, the video that I was referring to. I believe that was the episode before that, episode 12. Okay. So if we continue this video here for a minute, you're going to notice at, I believe it's 109:14, 109:15, something around there. He's going to call me a liar. So we go ahead and, you could just play it from there. But listen,
109:15.
109:15. Yeah, listen carefully at that point. You don't have to fast forward to it, but listen carefully to what he says, and then pause it right after he says it. So like 109:14, 109:15, somewhere around there. We're going to expose his first lie right now.
This particular issue and the whole purpose behind that surah is that the man could not see the prophet, peace be upon him, because the man was blind. So there's no way whatsoever you're a liar if you're saying, unless I had a slip of the tongue, but there's no possible way. I guarantee you that
you can pause that right there, brother. Okay, thank you. What did he just say at about the 109 mark, 109:14, I believe it was?
He clearly called you. He called you a liar.
He called me a liar. Okay, I thought so.
That's right.
So I'm not hearing things. I'm not going crazy. Okay, why don't we skip to the 1:15:46 mark?
1:15:46.
Yeah, close to it. You know.
Okay.
That's about the time he allows me to start speaking again.
Okay. So I got 1:15:30.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe get a little lead into it.
When did I call you a liar? What are you talking about? The country that they've left, or the group of people or body of people that they've left, has to put them in danger. But again, has to be scanning the chat to see if anyone else is saying if he was blind.
Yeah, no, you passed it already. You want to go to 1:15:46. Because again, at the 109 mark, we've established that he's called me a liar.
Okay. I'm not seeing anyone else say anything about it, but
Brother Danny, you said 1:15:46?
Yeah, about 1:15:46.
Okay.
I mean, this is something that we talked about Wednesday. But
okay, well,
again, either if
hey, Danny Davis, have you ever made a
mistake? It's funny.
Okay, well, I might have made a mistake. I haven't confirmed that a mistake was made yet. Okay?
Or I'm a liar. You made a mistake, or I'm a liar.
No, I never called you a liar. I never called you a liar. No, I didn't call you a liar.
You can pause that right there. 2 lies.
What are you talking?
Wow.
You can pause that right there. So what did we just hear?
He said he didn't call you a liar, and we played when he did call you a liar.
So just to clarify, at the 109 mark, he called me a liar.
You want to go back to that?
No, that's
fine. Should we go back? Okay.
No, that's fine. And then people can go back. They can even watch his
video. Yeah, they can rewind,
if they think that we're playing games with the video.
Right.
So at the 109 mark, he calls me a liar. At the 115 mark, I call him out for calling me a liar, and he clearly says, I didn't call you a liar. I mean, that right there sounds like the second lie. His first lie was saying that he never said, and we haven't established his first lie. So, Brother Jacob, if you want to go to Question Kenny for an hour on episode 12.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to that episode.
Allahu Akbar.
Oh yeah, we don't want to hear that. You're scaring off viewers.
Have you ever been declined for a credit card due to poor credit? Download Self. It's a new way to build credit.
Hey, we get free commercials.
Yeah, you hear him singing to La.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, and like I said,
we got a video. Hey, Brother Dan, we gotta tell them we got a good video coming up on that. They worship La.
We definitely.
And as a matter of fact, we're gonna show them the clip when I came in as the prank caller. When Kenny kicked me off his platform, and I came in as William Albright.
Yeah, that.
But we're gonna show them that. So,
okay, in this episode 12 right here, if you could jump to the 157:02 mark.
157:02.
Correct.
All right.
And we're going to let this play for a little bit. I believe this is when I first bring up the hadith and discuss it with him. And we're going to see if he says the first thing out of his mouth is that the man isn't blind. Well, then I guess what I would ask is, there we go. Are you familiar with the hadith about, the first revelation that Muhammad received in the cave Hira, where Jibril came to him, and after he pressed him so hard, he went back to Khadijah, and he thought that he had seen a demonic, possession. She wrapped him in a blanket. He said, "Cover me." She wrapped him in a blanket. He stayed in that state of fear for a while, and then said that, "I'm afraid something is going to happen to me." And she said, "By Allah, he would never allow you to do that. You're a pious person," so on and so forth. And then she took him to her uncle, Waraka. Are you familiar with that hadith?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, so my question is this, or maybe you can give me some understanding on this.
Okay.
Muhammad was the only one that physically saw or felt that entity that was inside that cave.
Mm-hmm.
And once he left, he did not, the entity didn't tell him, "Hey, I'm Jibril, I was sent by Allah." At least that's not what it doesn't say that anywhere in the hadith. But she had to take Muhammad to a blind man for a blind man to tell him, "Oh, well, that must have been Jibril." Okay. So it seems, what my question is, or my statement is, it seems to me like the entire Islamic belief is hanging on the assumption of an old blind man.
Okay. Facts. Well, thank you for that, Danny. Obviously, mean no disrespect to you. You're still backstage. I'll bring you on if you'd like to come back in a second. And the man that you're talking about, he wasn't blind, for one. He wasn't blind. But on top of that.
Thank you. Right there.
Brother Danny, I just wanted to pause for a second. Did you want me to continue to play it?
No. I wanted you to pause it right there. I appreciate
it. Okay, I just want to say something real quick. I want everybody to notice what Brother Danny said, because we have another live stream coming up tomorrow where we will dig in deep, and we're going to analyze that hadith about Muhammad's first visitation in the cave of Hira. And notice what Brother Danny said. He said, "Your Islam," and I'm paraphrasing, "is founded upon the testimony of a blind man."
That's correct.
Of a blind old man by the name of Waraka. And look, Kenny, you see the laugh on his face? He caught in his perfect expression. What'd you say?
Because he has no defense for it. So
yeah, he laughed. Hey, he gonna be watching this and laughing himself. Kenny, we looking at you, you liar. And in this video, you was asking me when I was on your channel, "Oh, did you call me a liar?" I'm telling you to your face right now, you are a liar and a deceiver. I'm not biting my tongue. You want me to spell it out for you, Kenny? You are a capital LIAR liar. Now, got that out of the way. Now, everybody notice what Brother Danny David said. Waraka is a blind old man, and without him, there is no Islam. Brother Danny, before you continue the video, don't you think Muslims, they need to dedicate a day for Waraka?
Yeah,
you know how they have, you know what I'm saying? You know how they have a whole month like Ramadan? They call in Aisha, the mother of the believers. What about Waraka? Without Waraka, there is no Muhammad.
That's correct. That's correct.
I give the floor back to you.
Hey, no problem. And yeah, we're definitely going to do that video tomorrow where we can give an in-depth look at that hadith, go into detail. But again, the only reason I wanted to play that section right there, because if you notice on episode 13, which was the very next stream he did, the Question Kenny for an hour, what's the first thing that he said? I didn't say that the man wasn't blind. And what did we just hear him say? What's the first thing that came out of his mouth? Okay, first of all, the man wasn't blind. That's what he said. And then when he asked me why, on episode 13, he asked me, "Why did you call me a liar?" Well, when me and Brother Jacob had the first stream we made on Reconsider This TV, I didn't remember at the time exactly why I called him a liar, but I told him, but I can easily point out other places where you lied to me. So I brought up that, and another bold-faced lie. So just that alone, I believe, is 3 lies.
Right.
And let me say this to you, self-proclaimed Imam Kenny Bomer. By my count, that is 3 lies. Okay? 3 lies. Just like Peter done Jesus 3 times before the cock crowed. And you should be ashamed of yourself lying to me like that.
That's right.
Right? And then turning it around, trying to play the victim card. You're the liar. You're the liar. I never said that. Well, here it is, Kenny. I even told you in your live stream. You can go back and watch your own videos.
And
Okay?
Brother Danny, will you finish your statement?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. You know what I want to add to what you just said? I find it very ironic for Kenny to be, and me and Brother Danny, we discussed this offline. Me and him, we talk a lot. I find it very ironic that Kenny is calling someone a liar, but his own prophet, when you research the Hadiths, Muhammad said that it's okay to tell lies.
Good point. So basically,
Boom, Kenny, your prophet said it's okay to tell lies.
So basically, what you're telling me is that Kenny thinks he's better than his prophet.
Exactly. Woo, powerful. And his prophet makes special accommodations for when a Muslim can lie. So if you're saying that Brother Danny is lying, tell us this, Kenny. If you claiming he's lying, did his lying fit the criteria of being able to tell a good lie according to Islam? Boom. Tell us that. Because in Islam, you can lie to your wife, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to keep peace amongst people. What if he was lying to keep peace amongst you?
Well,
if you saying he was lying.
Let me ask you this, Brother Jacob. If you can lie to your family, your friends, and your enemies, who's left?
Woo, powerful. That's right. Who's left?
Who can you not
Family,
lie to?
friends, enemies. The Trinity of lies in Islam.
There it is, the Trinity of lies. You can lie to everybody, you know.
Exactly.
Right,
So who is he? Yeah, my last statement on this. Who are you to tell lying according to Islam? Is it subjective or objective? It has to be subjective to someone's personal opinion.
Right.
You can't tell him, according to your prophet, if he lied for a good reason or not. So you are busted, pie in your face, Kenny Homer Simpson, clown.
And let me make this very clear. All right, crystal clear for you. Kenny Bomer, the self-proclaimed imam, you are a liar. Okay? We've already established in just 2 videos, we've established 3 lies. Okay? And the list goes on and on and on. Now, another thing that I did want to address is for anybody that can stomach going back and watching Kenny's video, you know, before he brings me on to berate me when I'm supposed to be there to ask him a question, before he brings me on to berate me so he can try to save the honor that he thinks he has, he goes into this long tangent about how he's always respectful, he's always cordial, treats me like a gentleman, so on and so forth. Brother Jacob, did I give you the open discussion?
Oh, I can pull it up. It's no problem.
Yeah. If you want to pull up the open discussion video, because you know Kenny's claimed over and over again that he's always been respectful towards me, always treated me like a gentleman. I just want to turn the viewers' attention to the very first time. It's that first video right there. The very first time I was on Kenny's panel. Did I send you the timestamp?
If you only list your vacation rental on Airbnb, you might get a few people.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay. So if you wanted to run down that list of timestamps, I think we got the first one where he's throwing ad hominem
in the corner.
What was that, Brother Danny?
If you want to go through the timestamps I gave you.
Okay, you want me to go to the first one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me make sure. 4:03:33.
Example of Kenny acting like a gentleman, because again, the consistency of a man defines who he is. So let's see what kind of man Kenny is.
Okay, let's go to 40333.
Nonsense. Why waste time with an absolute idiot like this? And I'm stressing the word idiot. How dare you? Why would you have an issue with the Quran saying that God creates horses and mules and donkeys?
Right,
what's the problem? Right, he created you. Can he not create a mule and a donkey?
You go to the next timestamp.
All right.
Call you a big mouth. I'd call in front of your children, your wife. I'll call you a big mouth. I assure you.
That's fine.
Kenny, can we?
Go ahead. Austin, I'll take a trip down to Houston. You can say it straight to my face. I'm not worried about you.
Daniel.
Go ahead.
It's funny you told him you would take a trip down to Houston.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that first conversation we had, you see my Longhorns hat here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was actually in Austin. The very first time I talked to Kenny, I was in Austin, which is about 3 hours away from Houston. And like I told him, he wants to, bring somebody's family into it. I'll call you a big mouth in front of your wife and kids and so on and so forth. He's always acting like a tough guy. A matter of fact, I don't think you can see it because this is too small. But later on in the conversation, you see how he's got the Zoom private chat. Well, in that private chat, which I didn't realize until I went back and watched the video at a later date, he types in there, "Are you in Texas? Because I would definitely give you the opportunity to come down and address me in person," something like that. Like trying to invoke me to go down there and like waste my time to fight somebody like him. I mean, listen, the guy's about 5'8" tall, right? I mean, 250, if not more, pounds. I'm not sure what Kenny thinks he can do to me. I mean, not that it matters. I'm not a violent person, but Kenny, please, if I was a violent person, you're not the one to take me down, brother. Okay. I think I sent you some other timestamps because again, we want to show the consistency of, how Kenny acts decent. He acts like a gentleman. He treats people with respect. And keep in mind, this was the first time I was ever on his panel. The very first time I was on his panel.
All right, so I'm about to play the next one. That'll be 42020.
What means is that people who are listening to this,
no,
they will make up their own mind whether who's
42010
idiot or not.
42010.
Yeah, you just go back, click back like 10 seconds.
All
Actually,
right.
when you're on the video, if you just double tap back, it should go back about 10, 15 seconds.
But alhamdulillah, there's a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this guidance. These type of people are nothing but disease-ridden in their hearts and their minds. They're not listening. And he's not coming.
I agree with you, Kenny. I agree with you 100%. But the problem is that
there you go.
Who are
you can stop that there.
This, they will make up their own mind.
You can stop that there. Now, the next one, I think it was 43311. And again, I just wanted to point out there, I believe that was the first time I was on Kenny's show, first time he lied. He just stated, this guy is never coming back on the panel. And as everybody knows, this video is quite old. I've been on Kenny's panel several times after that. So I think we're up to about 4 lies, minimum, maybe more. And again, the consistency of a man defines who he is. And it just, third video, at least the 4th lie, Kenny, you're a liar. Okay. Brother Jacob, if you wanted to jump to, I think it's 43821.
All right. 43311, right?
No, 43821. Again, okay. 43311 is where he types into the side chat that he wants me to take a trip down to Houston. And I think it's too small to see, so there's no reason to go to that.
Okay.
But anybody
you shut up and you 1 second.
1 second before you go on, Mustafa.
Yourself. Be quiet, moron.
There you go, calling names again.
Okay, Mushrikeen. See. Okay, so we want to know from you, Daniel Davis.
Okay, you can pause that.
In the Quran or in those verses are the Ahl al-Kitab?
You can pause that. So again, what's he yelling? Shut up, moron. You know, go back and listen to before he brings me on his panel on the Question Kenny for an hour. What was this? Episode 13. What's he talking
Episode
about?
13?
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't have to go there. What I'm saying is people that want to go back and watch before he brings me on the panel, he goes into this long, I've always treated you decent. I've always treated you kind. I've always acted like a gentleman. And yet we're showing that on the very first time I was on his panel, I've already been a moron. I've already been stupid. And he wanted to stress stupid, right? He's already told me to shut up. He's already told me that, he'll call me a big mouth in front of my wife and kids. And this is a man that claims that he's always treated me decent, right?
And I like to add, I want everyone to know this, like, this was about a year ago.
Oh, this was over a year ago. This was
over a year ago.
Yeah,
Brother Danny, are those same people still around Kenny?
Let's see who's Ibn Anwar is no longer around. The That's the Al Fakur Ibn Anwar. He's no longer around. He was a younger kid. He might be doing studies or something. Mustafa Ahmed, he actually he's a part of his Consider This TV network. He runs the Dawa Connected channel. He's a moron that also runs for me. That's somebody that, we'll make a video about in the future because he made a video about me claiming that I was afraid of him. And just to clarify, I'm definitely not afraid of Mustafa. He is a disgusting human being. He has no real knowledge of anything. And when he talks, he likes to talk about, your man God was on a cross naked with his penis, excuse my language, with his penis dangling, rabbis sucked his penis. I mean, he goes, I refuse to talk to Mustafa because of that type of rhetoric that comes out of his mouth. Now, if he wanted to debate me on a topic, that's a different story. I'll debate him, but I don't want to go on and have dialogue in a chat group with that gentleman because I mean that's the way he acts. And I actually want to take back calling him a gentleman because he's definitely not a gentleman. Everybody that's actually heard this guy speak knows that he is definitely not a gentleman. Now going back to your question, actually that Faisal, he's on the Dawa Connected with Mustafa, so he's still around. Then you got Daniel Davis in the chat. That's me. I'm still around. And the other guy, I haven't seen or heard from that guy in quite a while. But to get to your point, there's been plenty of people on Kenny's channels over the years. And it seems like he's just like recycling Muslims, right? Some go out, some come in. Some go out, some come in. Ijaz is no longer a part of his show. They had some type of falling out. Probably because, Ijaz likes to use racial epithets, although Kenny did defend him right after that. And yet when, what's the other guy's name? Beholder Guard, when he used racial epithets, that is a whole nother storm that's still brewing. And
Brother Danny, like racism is a part of the vernacular in their religion. And in the future, we're gonna have to do a video going into the historical racism of Islam. I have evidence, quotes from famous Islamic historians, biographers, and the famous hadith about Muhammad said that the black people came from the left shoulder, like black ants.
Yes.
Yeah, the left shoulder, and they were made for hell, and he was fine with it. And the white people came from the right shoulder of Adam. The blacks came from the left shoulder, and they were like black ants, charcoal. That's how it's explained. And the white people came from the right shoulder of Adam, and they were made for paradise. So yeah,
That's correct. So actually, it's funny that you bring that up because one of the first hadiths I mentioned to Kenny when he started his Question Kenny for an Hour series is that exact hadith right there. And Kenny, as he always does, I'm not familiar with that hadith. I'm not familiar with that hadith. I got to go back and see what the grade is, see what the chain is, see if it's authentic. Of course, it's authentic. Kenny, myself, Brother Jacob, other Christians that come onto your panel, we're not going to waste our time reading hadiths that are daif, okay, or that do not have a strong chain of narration, right? And that's actually one of the first questions I asked him. He still hasn't answered it, and he has no answer for it because, again, it's just obvious that his false prophet was racist. Okay, there's several hadiths that we can use to prove that. But getting back on the Kenny issue, where were we at?
Let's see. Let's see. We just did 44, 38, 21. So 440, 34.
Yeah, that's fine. You could probably just play it from where it was at. Not too,
Okay.
2 minutes. You guys were having a debate with somebody.
We're talking about today. We're not talking about a week and a half ago.
Okay, but it's something that you actually said, Kenny. And just so you know,
Okay, but what we're doing,
I
we're talking.
download every single one of your videos. So
We're talking about today. That's
try
what
to deny
my lack of patience with you is thin.
I'm not worried about your patience.
Fine, you are. Okay,
Damn
so
your patience.
today we're not talking about.
Okay, hold on, Daniel. Before you said that,
So there we
nobody
go.
ever
You want to
mentioned
pause that right there, brother?
So he said nobody ever said the Jews never said the Ezra is the son of.
You want to pause that right there? Okay, so hey, sorry, Eric Smith and my brothers and sisters over there on the Cross and the Crescent. Apparently, over a year ago, I was swine. So I might have beaten you guys at, getting the title of swine of the humankind. Although I know he's been going on Eric's show for several years, so he might have been swine before me. I think it was at 449.50. He's calling me a liar. 451.50. He's losing his temper. At 512, I was on his panel for a while. I don't get to talk much, I mean, as you can see in what we've shown so far, I might get about 30, 40 seconds in, if that long, before I'm muted. He kicks me off the panel several times. Why don't we jump to, let's see, how about you do 451.50?
Okay.
Kenny, don't mute me. Let me explain.
Watch how quickly I do.
Are there air?
Watch how quickly I do mute you. Don't tell me what to do. Matter of fact, Barrios, you're out of here.
No.
Are there air speakers in the room?
Listen.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now
Go to 523. Okay. Go to 523.28 for me. Just a few minutes later. About 20 minutes. Yeah, 523.28.
For that time, I'll get you.
No, I actually
behind in the corner and put your hands behind your back when you get there. You're gonna stand in the corner for 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so
you like that? Time that right
this
there.
is a great one as well. God made two lights, the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light.
You want to pause that right there? Yeah, so you hear that? Get back in the corner and get your hands behind your back. I mean, is that the way that a gentleman speaks to somebody?
To a grown man with kids. Brother Danny has kids. You don't talk. Kenny has kids. He wouldn't want nobody to talk to him and treat him like some little boy. We are grown men. We pay bills. We work. We are men. He's talking to Danny like he's a little boy or something. Come on, man.
Well, the problem is that it's obvious that he thinks I'm his demi. All right. But let's make it clear, Kenny, I'm not your demi. Okay. You're not a caliph. And even if you were, I still wouldn't be your demi. I wouldn't pay your jizya, which was, in your recent video. I don't know if it was episode 12 or episode 13, possibly episode 13. I think it was episode 13, where you go in, we're not forcing you people to pay the and you couldn't figure it out. Right? It's called jizya. I'm not your demi, and I'm not paying it. and someone that's a self-proclaimed imam, it's a shame that you don't even know the words. I mean, Brother Jacob, we can go back just over the time that you and I have been on Kenny's show. For someone that's a self-proclaimed imam, the guy knows very little about Islam. He knows the watered-down, whitewashed version of Islam. He doesn't know true Islam. Okay?
Right.
ISIS is true Islam.
Right. Say that again. Say that again.
ISIS is true Islam.
Everybody heard that? ISIS is true Islam.
Boko Haram, okay? Taliban.
Boko Haram
Al-Qaeda
is true Islam.
Okay? Those are the closest thing to Muhammad and his gang, right? Not Kenny. And I think one of the problems is because if you look back, this was over a year ago. He's got that kufi on his head, and I honestly believe that kufi is stopping knowledge from seeping into his brain. Right? He calls you and I, and all others Islamophobes, but I think my new title for Kenny will be intelligence-ophobe.
And Brother Danny. Hey, Brother Danny, when we go into detail about the hadith of the commencement of the divine inspiration, we're going to show everybody who was the first ever recorded Islamophobe in history. You're going to be surprised who it was. But we're going to save that for tomorrow's live stream. You got to tune in.
You do. I know who it is, but I don't think Kenny knows who it is or will accept who it is, but he is definitely the first Islamophobe. All right. Now, why don't you jump to, it's like 23 minutes up to 5:46:50. I think I sent you that timestamp.
The Faisal question.
Shut your mouth, Kenny.
Okay, Kenny, let me say, what's the difference between what?
What's the difference between?
You just got 3 minutes. Get in the corner. Get over there. Get your hands behind your back.
Let me say, brother Kenny. What's the difference? Go on, Kenny. What's the difference?
All right, go ahead.
You got to go. Go ahead, Brother Faisal.
What's the difference? No, let him speak.
Go ahead. Pause that right there. Again, you listen to the way he talks. Get over there. Get your hand behind your back. I mean, I was laughing right now when it just played again, but if you listen in the video, I'm laughing even then too. And the reason I told him to shut his mouth is because, again, that was about 23 minutes from the last timestamp we showed. Throughout that, well, I mean, you go all the way back to the 4 hour and 3 minute mark, right? That's the first time stamp I sent you. And then an hour and 43 minutes later, I'm listening to this guy, the name calling, the ad hominems, the acting tough, calling me a liar, losing his temper, telling me to get in the corner, put my hands behind my back, so on and so forth. So yeah, if you listen, I told him, shut your mouth, Kenny. I think Mustafa had asked Faisal a question, and as soon as Mustafa had shut his mouth for a second, long enough for me to speak, I started speaking. Kenny jumps in with, he wasn't talking to you, moron. So I said, shut your mouth, Kenny. And then that's when you get the, get over there, get your hands behind your back. But the funny thing is, for anybody that can stomach going back and listening to this open discussion, my first conversation with Kenny, over and over again, he kicks me off the live stream and saying that you're never coming back to this channel. But then we get to see who actually runs the show over there, okay? Because you got Mustafa and Faisal and Ibn Anwar. No, bring him back on. Okay, I'll bring him back on.
Right. He's like, to me, it comes off like he's the flunky, because I think he realizes that they don't really see him as Islamic enough. They see Kenny as an American, a white American wannabe. And he kind of appeases to them. That's like you were just saying, like they control and tell him what to do and kick him around because they know, number one, not just because he's white, but they know Kenny doesn't know a damn thing what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
They can sense it, yeah.
if anything, they should give him more respect because of his white skin. Because and we'll go into that when we start talking about their false prophet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because I mean, you go through the hadiths and they're talking about the whiteness of his shins, the whiteness of his arms. One says man comes in on a camel and says, where's the which one's the prophet? And they say that white man over there.
Right,
and that
right.
actually, because Kenny said something in his last or in, I think it was episode 13, where he tried to when he was playing his victim card, he tried to say something about how you and I were racist because we were talking about Muslims in the West as opposed to Muslims in the East. And well, you know why? Because the Muslims in the East, they don't look like us Muslims, a white man from Houston and Charles, a white man in Georgia, and some other singer that is a white man that converted to Islam. I mean, it's just his victim playing the victim card, poor victim
Right.
tactics. When I mean, I'm honestly not sure how anybody could even try to claim for a second that I'm racist. Okay, my mom's white, my dad's black, my wife's Mexican.
Wow, that's the whole American legacy.
You're
Mexicans,
right.
whites, and blacks. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I have Indians, Asians in my family, I mean, so, anyone that's trying to even imply that I'm racist and somehow is just fooling themselves, which
Right.
again, Kenny obviously does all the time. That's really all that I had. I mean, I think I showed or proved Kenny's point. The consistency of a man defines who he is, and we've seen on just a number of bases. Again, we could make an 8-hour marathon like Kenny has done in some of his videos, where I can just go over clip after clip after clip after clip of Kenny's ad hominem attacks, calling me a liar when he hasn't. To this day, I don't know of any lie that he's proven. He'll call me a liar, but where
Right.
did I lie? Show me my lie, Kenny. Where he's acting tough, acting like he's going to beat somebody up. Come on down to Houston. Come on down to Houston for what?
Right.
I mean, even in this video, it's kind of funny. I told him, I think at one point I told him, if I come down to Houston, you're going to buy me lunch, you know? So yeah, I mean.
So let me ask you a question, Brother Danny.
Yeah.
We were speaking earlier before we came on. Were you still trying to show the hadiths about Warwick being blind?
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for actually mentioning that, because
Okay.
if you have that, if you could bring up sunnah.com and go to the hadith that I've questioned Kenny about on at least his last 2 streams, because even anybody that wants to go back and watch 13 episode 13, you got Kenny. You'd have to do the live chat replay, but you got Kenny saying I never said that, which we already showed, but we didn't actually show the hadith where it proves that I'm not lying. According to the hadith, the guy was blind.
So, Brother Danny Davis, introduce us, connect the dots to everything that you've been talking about thus far, so the people will be, keeping up. Connect the dots, bring us up to date, because we about to show them these hadiths. So, give us a synopsis of everything up to this point, and going into these hadiths.
Okay, again, Kenny has his question Kenny for an hour. I go up there and I try to bring. I've tried to bring up contradictions and errors in his Qurans, or in his Quran, or I guess I should say Quran, since we know there's more than one, at least 37 to date. I bring up hadiths where he just tries to jump around and dance around, play verbal gymnastics. But in this particular hadith, I'm talking about, well, you know what? If you want to bring up the hadith, we can read it. I'm talking about where Muhammad is taken to Wadaka, and so he can describe to Wadaka what happened to him when he was violently attacked in a cave by a okay, and I mentioned, which mentions in a hadith,
Go back, brother. Go back
that he
about
has
5
lost his
seconds.
eyesight. One hadith
Go
says
back
he
about
has
5
lost his
seconds.
eyesight.
Go back about
What's
5
that?
seconds. Go back to what you were saying for about 5 seconds because you started cracking up. I want everybody to catch everything that you were saying.
Okay, so again, in the hadith, I'm talking about how the hadith states that Wadaka had lost his eyesight. Okay, or in another hadith covering the same topic, it literally says that he is blind, a man that had gone blind. Okay, so Kenny claims, oh, it doesn't say that in the hadith, right? That's one of the lies that I accused him of, and then he flat out lies again and says I never said that. But again, if you want to bring up the hadith, brother, we can see.
So let me ask you this question so the people will be able to keep up. What do you think was Kenny's significance of trying to refute that Warwicker was not blind? How does that bring damage to the Muslims' claim? What do you think his reasons for saying that was, trying to deny that Warwicker wasn't blind?
Well, again, I think I know why he does that, because again, how are you going to be a witness when you're blind? You know,
Right.
But even as I stated when I went on one of the last times I was on Kenny's stream, whether the guy was going blind, or had completely lost his eyesight doesn't really matter, because according to Islamic theology, according to the hadiths, Muhammad was by himself. You know, it's kind of like Muslims today, like Kenny always says. There we go. You know, I bear witness that Allah there's no ilah but Allah, and that Muhammad's a prophet. How could you be a witness to something that you didn't see? You know, so
Ooh, say that again. Hold on. I gotta stop you. Say that again. Now, did everybody hear what he just said? Brother Danny, that was powerful. He said, when Muslims say the Shahada, they say, I bear witness, okay? Now, you got to understand what he is saying. The reason why he is bringing up the point of Warwicker being blind, because just like he said, how can you bear witness to something that you didn't see? Okay, but when you go to this hadith we're about to show you, Warwicker is a blind man trying to bear witness to Muhammad being a prophet. He couldn't even see. So even if he would have lived to see Muhammad do these miraculous so-called things that the Muslims say, he couldn't have bear witness to it. He was blind. Good, great point. Great point.
We don't want to give up too much, because again, we want to do a video tomorrow and go into
we're going to do that. Yeah,
deep detail about this.
Yeah, we're gonna go in deep detail. Yeah.
Again, I mean, Kenny's always talking about, if we walk into a court of logic and reason, right? If we walk into a court of logic and reason, if we walk into a court of logic and reason. Well, if we walk into a court of logic and reason, and you tell a judge, oh, I bear witness that this guy robbed a bank, and he says, okay, where did you see him? Oh, I didn't see him. I never saw him. What is a judge sitting in a court of logic and reason going to say? How are you going to witness that he robbed a bank if you weren't there? Well, somebody told me, I read a book, I believe in that book, and in that book it says that he robbed a bank. So therefore I bear witness.
It doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, again, I don't want to go too far into this hadith. Because I want to, we can save the majority of it for the live stream that we do tomorrow. But if you can click on the hadith and maybe highlight the part. Well, right here we see that it's is this the right one? Is it? I don't think it's Sahih Bukhari 3392. No, this isn't the one. Scroll down a little bit. I think it's this one right here. No. Oh yeah. This is the one. Yeah, the commencement. Yep, that's it.
Well,
So
I
we
think it's
have
the one that's. I think it's the one that says the mother of the faithful believers.
narrated Aisha, the mother of the
Yeah.
faithful believers. Okay, yeah. You know what? Sahih al-Bukhari 3. This one will work too. This is perfect because this was narrated by Aisha. So, when Kenny wants to say that this isn't true, he's not refuting me. He's refuting the quote unquote mother of the faithful. Okay. He's not calling me a liar. He's calling Aisha a liar. So have we gotten to the part? Let's see. You scroll up just a little bit for me, brother.
All right.
Nope. Scroll up. Other way. All right. Right here. We find just scroll up a little bit more. Start at the beginning. There we go. That's good. All right. The Islamic period became a Christian and used to write the writings with Hebrew letters. He would write from the gospel in Hebrew as much as Allah wished him to write. He was an old man and had lost his eyesight. Right? He was an old man and had lost his eyesight. So let me ask you, Brother Jacob, if someone loses their eyesight, what would we call that?
Blind, like Kenny.
Blind. Exactly.
Blind.
Like I said earlier, that kufi on your head, Kenny, you might want to go down and get one a couple sizes bigger because that one is obviously stopping knowledge from seeping into your brain. Okay.
Hey, it's cutting off the flow of blood.
That's it. That's it. So yeah, again, I don't want to go into much more detail regarding this hadith because I'd like to sit down with you tomorrow and really analyze this from the top, narrated Aisha, all the way down to the bottom. Okay.
Perfect.
There's all kinds of stuff to go over with this.
Yep.
And even if you look at the top of this hadith, as I stated to Kenny, which is in fact another lie that he said in his Ask Kenny a Question series, when that entity was choking him when that entity approached him and started choking him, nowhere in that does it say, I am Jibril. And that's exactly why he went running back, like a little scared puppy, went running back to his wife with his tail between his legs. Cover me, I'm scared.
It's ironic you said scared puppy because the Muslim angels are scared of puppies.
Right. All right, brother. That's honestly all I didn't want to go into much more detail about anything other than the fact that the self-proclaimed Imam Kenny Bomer is in fact a liar. You asked me on episode 13 of Question Kenny for an Hour, you asked me why I call you a liar. You're talking to the people in your chat accusing me of being a liar. Well, I've given my evidence, Kenny. You talk about being in the court of logic and reason. Come with your evidence. I've proven you are a liar. You're a liar, a deceiver, a bully. I mean, you're a foolish man. You are definitely following the sunnah of your prophet, okay? Because he was ignorant. You act ignorant. He was a liar. You're a liar. What more can I say? Brother Jacob, what do you got to add?
Well, I just, amen to that and second to everything that you just said because but you gotta understand that Kenny is lost, man. Like he's everything that you said plus more. You know what I mean? And I mean, you pretty much nailed it, man. I mean, I think you did a great job, Oh, I do have something I want to say though. Kenny, if you want to experience what a real panel is like, and anybody on Kenny's platform or any Muslim that's watching me and brother Danny Davis right now. If you have any objections to anything that we say, we invite you to our platform. We don't do like Kenny Bomer. We are not afraid of anything that you Muslims have to say. Only thing that we require is that when we ask you of something, we don't allow no running around. We don't allow no evading questions. You must face the fire on this channel. We don't allow no beating around the bush. That'll be the only time we will hit the mute button. When we ask you of something, you better answer us and be direct. We don't play around on this channel. Kenny, if you want to refute anything that we said, we invite you to our panel. Me, brother Jacob, I promise you, I won't mute you. I won't throw you into the backstage, because unlike you Muslims, and brother Danny Davis, have you ever seen a Christian panel treat the Muslims the way Kenny, how he treats us? I've never seen that.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, for sure, I have no problem having a dialogue, having a conversation, or a debate with any Muslim out there that thinks I've lied or am lying about anything I say. The only thing that we ask is be respectful. Okay, if you're respectful, you come on the panel, you're respectful, you act like a gentleman, you're going to be treated like a gentleman. You act like a fool, and you're just going to be, asked to leave, muted, and dropped off the panel. But you go back and you watch the videos where, sorry, brother, you go back and you watch the videos where I've been on Kenny's channel. I ask questions that him and his panel just don't have answers for. Therefore, I'm called an idiot, swine of the humankind, a moron, and muted and dropped off of his panel. Kenny, if you want to do 3-minute segments, because we all know that you're long-winded, if you want to do 3-minute segments where you talk for 3 minutes, I talk for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, I'm more than willing to do that. But on your panel, you've already shown time and time again that you're not willing to do that. As soon as somebody challenges you on the knowledge you claim to have, they're thrown off of your panel. And it's not just me and brother Jacob. This has been done to Michael. This has been done to Latino and Proud. This has been done to Radical Moderate. This has been done to every single person that has been on your channel that challenges you. When you don't have an answer, you mute them. You call them idiots. You kick them off the panel. And 50-minute rant to try to dazzle with details or baffle with BS the listeners that you have on your panel, so they don't realize the errors of what you're saying, the mistakes that you made, or your lack of knowledge. But we will definitely be experiencing and demonstrating your lack of knowledge.
Yep. And let me break down this long, since we own it, we may as well just get it all out. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk about this long-winded thing that brother Danny Davis just brought up. When Kenny Bomer when he has you on his panel, he goes into these long-winded diatribe. And the reason why he does that is because when I ask him a question and it's a sharp question that he knows he doesn't have the answer for, these are the tactics that he used. First, he'll go into ad hominems. Then he will get very verbose and loquacious. He'll start just speaking and speaking. The reason why he does that is because what his purpose for doing that is he's trying to make his listening audience forget about the question that he was asked. So what he'll do, he'll shift your mind into another direction. So the person that's sitting and waiting will lose the train of thought that they were on, because by the time he finished speaking, you've lost the desire to continue. I mean, he does that purposely because he knows that he's trying to fatigue you, and at the same time, he's trying to be like the Pied Piper, and he's trying to lead his audience astray from what you spoke about. Prime example, when I was on his channel and the last live stream that me and brother Danny Davis did, we were speaking about Jabril when Jabril had lied to Muhammad when he didn't show up to visit Muhammad on time, and he gave an excuse. So when I went on Kenny Bomer's show and brought that to his attention, he didn't even focus on the question. He started talking about the puppy. What do you think about that, brother Danny Davis? Like, you see how he does? Like, he'll take you all around the world,
right,
just to get away from the question you asked him, because he knows you got him busted. That's what it is.
That's what it is. I mean, and that's what the first video was about, really. You went on the panel, you asked him a legitimate question. You know, actually, I believe that brother Adam Seeker did a video the other day. In fact, I think you were on that video. You asked him a question specifically about that hadith, and the question that you asked is, did Jibril lie? And then since Jibril does not have free will, that means Allah had lied to his prophet. Okay. Hey, well, I'm not sure what happened to Brother Jacob, but this is Danny Davis signing out. Kenny, I don't need to come on your panel.
I'm back.
No, he's back. All right. Well, I was just saying that, Kenny, I don't need to come on your panel. Okay. I mean, I could just go through the videos and the conversations you have with other people on your panel and show your deception and your lies. But if you would like to have me on your panel, and if you would manage to be respectful, which I doubt you can do because you've already shown over a year, maybe 2 years now, that you just can't control yourself when you're cornered and you don't have an answer. So if you want to have a conversation, you can come find me, or you can agree to have that controlled live debate that you promised me that you would have with me a while back. And again, you can title it however you want to title it. It won't be on your show. We can do it on a neutral platform, or we can do it on this platform. You know, I'll even let you pick the moderator, but it definitely won't be on your show. Matter of fact, if you want to reach out to your buddy Ziad and see if he's willing to moderate, I think that, you know, he hates both of us equally. So I'm sure that he won't be biased one way or another. Okay. Title it whatever you want. Is Muhammad a true prophet? Okay. How's that for a title for you, Kenny? You obviously will debate in the affirmative. I will debate in the negative. You have a ton of evidence to prove your case. Bring it on. Bring it to me.
Bring it on.
I have a ton of evidence from authentic Islamic sources that state the other.
Hey, and brother Danny Davis, the new thing, have you noticed the new thing that Kenny does when you bring up a hadith? Notice before he wasn't doing this. The new thing that he does is when you bring up a hadith, he'll say, oh, I haven't researched that hadith. He wasn't doing that before. He'll say, I haven't researched that hadith. I don't know anything about the chain of narration. Kenny know good and well he doesn't know anything about chain of narration anyway. Like he know that much about Islam. Kenny, stop fronting, stop perpetrating. Kenny, you a 2-cent Muslim. You don't know anything about no Islam. If you are an imam in Islam, Kenny, I could be a imam. My pet poodle, and I don't even have a poodle, can be an imam. If they hire you to be over a Muslim congregation as a imam, Islam is most definitely in bad shape.
Well, you know what? Speaking about that, brother, I actually found out, and I'm looking into it more. So apparently, to be an imam, you have to be more knowledgeable than anybody else in the Islamic community. So if I were to go to certain parts of New Mexico that I've been to, where there's not many Muslims, I mean, I know quite a bit about Islam, and I decide to open a masjid out there, I could very well be the most knowledgeable person when it comes to Islam, which means once I open that masjid, I am the imam. And that's why, Kenny, I call you the self-proclaimed imam. I think my brother Christian Prince said it best when you had your discussion with him, and he told you, in your mosque, what do you have there? You, your cat, and your rat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know Brother Jacob's going to be right back. I'm going to allow him to close out. I'm going to close.
Yeah, I'm back, bro. I drank a lot of water tonight, man.
Not a problem. Not
Mother
a problem.
Nature was calling, man.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, so again, I'm done with this. It looks like we've gone on for about an hour and 11 minutes now.
Okay.
So we can end this stream and get ready for the big show tomorrow
Night. What song tomorrow night? We're gonna play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. Hopefully, we can get on a little earlier than we got on tonight.
Okay. What I'll do tomorrow, Brother Danny Davis, since we're playing it by ear, we speak during the day. So what we'll do, we'll decide a time, and I'll post a video in advance, and the subscribers will see it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
sounds good.
So we'll do it like that.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow, brother.
All right, so we signing out?
Let's sign out. Take
All
care,
right,
everyone.
well,
God bless.
All right, this is Brother Jacob and Danny Davis, and this is Reconsider This TV, episode number 2. We got plenty more in store. And with that, hope you all enjoyed it. Everybody have a blessed evening. And this is the False Prophet channel, where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, destroyed on a regular basis. Thank you all for joining us for another great episode of Reconsider This TV. And this is Brother Jacob and Danny Davis signing out. Shalom.